Football Sunday with Steve, Matt, and Taz.
All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of College Football Sunday. I'm Steve. With me always is Taz and Matt.
What's up?
All right, so we decided to do just a pop-up show. I know I said when I did my show the other night that we was going to do one on Sunday again, but got the crew, got the band back together and corralled up so we can do another show for y'all. So we got a couple of different things. We're just going to spitball some ideas, bounce stuff around, and just let y'all see how it is when we just have normal conversations. So I do have one thing I want to talk about real quick is, so Swearsby got blackballed. What do y'all think? Who wants to go first?
I'll go. Well, I think he got what he deserved. I don't think it was necessarily a blackball. I think, you broke the rules. You betted on your own team. But I think he tried to finagle college football and the NFL. So he was trying to play both sides, because he was trying to rush college football and the NCAA to make a quick decision because he wanted to enter the supplemental draft because it was an option. But at the same time, NFL probably was watching from a distance, watching this whole thing play out, and gave him some bad news once he thought he can get into the supplemental draft. No draft at all. So I think he got what he deserved. I mean, that's my take on it.
Well, I think that we said we were never going to talk about this again, Steve.
I know, and I didn't want to. And I even said it on my last show. I wasted 10 minutes of my life never to talk about this again. But honestly, I'm kind of excited that it went down the way it did.
At this point, when he closes his eyes, he's got to hear some type of Steve's voice somewhere, like lingering out there in the world, knowing that like Steve's like in the background going, haha, as much as Steve is putting in his life. So yeah, I think he got exactly what he deserved. When I saw it, it felt good to see. I think, the Big 12 took the right steps that forced him to this direction to where he thought he was going to get an easy out, and he did not get an easy out. So, back to we were talking about Arena Football League and how cool that was. Maybe he can get into Canada. But, I mean, Canada's a lot tougher on everybody than we are, so I don't even think he's making it to Canada. He's going to be the Kenny Powers of Mexican football.
There you go. Yeah, and it's crazy, too, because if you go back and you listen to the show that I did the other night, I talked about this. I said, what if he don't? And that's the reason why the Big 12 did not relieve their lawsuit. They kept it out there just for this reason. And he got so. I mean, they said what he put in there had to do with the integrity of the game, and the Shield is not going to lose. The Shield is not going to let you. It is a privilege to play in the NFL, not a right. And then, for what I heard, he's going to want to try to sue the NFL. Good luck. Mm-hmm. You're going to piss away that $5 million that Cody Campbell gave you to walk away.
Yeah.
No, that I think he just probably put pressure on them for not even allowing them to play in the league. Yeah, I mean, because you got to think now, dude, you're not even in the league and you're talking about suing the NFL. So what's not to say that down the line somewhere something don't go your way that you want to sue the NFL?
Mm-hmm.
So they need to be careful about what he's trying to do or take control. Like I said, I don't know if it's all him or his agent or who's in his ear about making these decisions. But I think you need to take a step back, get yourself right, and then, try to reapproach this thing next year.
Yeah. Final thoughts, Matt. One final thought?
Good riddance.
Taz?
What if he did like LaMelo Ball? Remember Lonzo Ball?
Go overseas?
Yeah, go overseas
and then get arrested.
But no, that was his brother. That was LaMelo at UCLA. But no, what if he goes to one of the league and just dominates? just put up crazy numbers, and then you get to the draft next year. You think it's ready to stop?
all I gotta say is, and this will be my final take on it, is he got what he deserved. I love how the NFL made sure to point out that he just tried to run from his mistakes. He didn't own it. It's one thing we all get told in our life and anything: own it, learn from it, move on.
Yep.
Don't lie. Don't push back. Don't give excuses. Own it, learn it, move on. He never owned it. So Now he's got to own it. So, like I said, hopefully this is the final 5 minutes of my life now that I will not, because I guess he is living rent free in my brain. He has been for the last month and a half. So we're going to move on. Matt, you say you got something new and fun for us?
Oh, I do. Yeah. So I don't know if the people will get to see it today, but I just say that I'm fully committed for your guys' complete entertainment. But we're gonna have a weekly segment on this show, and it's the Hot Take Court. Okay, with your judge Matty Ice. Now, what I haven't told the guys, and so this is a first for them. They don't know the topics. They don't know what we're doing each week. It'll be different. I am going to because my head is already swollen enough. They have to address me as Your Honor. When we do this, gotta call me Your Honor. They're going to be essentially presenting a case each week to make an argument one way or another. Sometimes they'll have 10 seconds. Sometimes they'll have 30 seconds. Sometimes it'll be, putting a case together, but they're not going to know the topics ahead of time. So I think what we're going to do as before we kick the season off is we're going to do buy or sell for this week. All right. And these are some hot takes, controversial hot takes that, that came up with that I don't think any of you guys are going to agree on. I think I've put some thought on this. If you guys do both agree on it, I'm going to ask you, try not to.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got a few topics. All right. So buy or sell, Steve first. Texas fans are more delusional than Ohio State fans.
Oh, I can sell that all day. I can argue that.
You're supposed to call me Your Honor.
Oh, Your Honor. Yes.
That's right.
No, I can do that.
Tell me why.
All right, so I can tell you from firsthand on both sides of the fence. My mom and them live up in Ohio. I'm from Texas, so I can tell y'all from both sides of the fence here. Texas fans are delusional. Texas fans believe they're better than everybody in every aspect of everything that they do. There is a shirt that they sell in other universities in Texas that says, I bought my shirt because I went to this school. You bought your shirt at Walmart, and it has a UT sign on it. So, yeah, no, everybody wants to be UT. They think they're the best in the world and the best there is out there. And honestly, look back at the facts. They don't have nothing to hang their hat on. At least Ohio State fans have national championships more recently and more regularly, Heisman Trophy winners. They're like number 3 or number 4 all time in total wins, and they beat them on the field. So that's my argument, Your Honor. And Texas fans are losing. I can't even say you got me so right.
That's a solid case. And Taz, if you agree with it, I'll go pick a different topic, and then I'll get you. I'll ask you buy or sell the next one.
The more delusion than Ohio State fans.
Yeah.
I would have to say yes. I agree with Steve on this one.
All right. Here's the next one.
You got this one, Taz.
You got this one. Taz, we buy it or sell it? I think you'll appreciate this one being where you guys are. Florida State fans, and you being a Florida boy, still aren't over the playoff snub.
Buy it. I buy it. They are not over. Dude, this thing's been going for years, and I still hear it seems like it's the foundation of what's happening now. It's based off of that snub. And I don't think everything that's happening now is built off of that snub. They're not getting recruits. They don't have the money. I don't think it has anything to do with the snub. I just think they're more delusional than anybody.
That's the question, Steve. Who's more delulu, Florida State or Texas?
Ooh, now that's a tough one there too.
Oh, I've had a conversation with him. I got an idea who he's going with.
Oh,
we've had a conversation.
Man, that one's a good one. Who's more delusional? Ooh,
I think it's easy.
Really? Who you got?
I mean, I think it's easy. Your decision. You make it hard.
Who you got? Who's more delusional?
I'm gonna take your take on it. I think you say Florida State's more delusional because they're living back in the 90s.
In the 90s. Yep, that's exactly what I was going to say. They still to this day are living back in the 1990s in Tallahassee. And if I hear one more thing, and I love him to death, he's one of my favorite players, Peter Ward and Charlie Ward and all them other players from the early 90s and late 90s. No, this is 2026, y'all.
Yep.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah.
You guys are making a good case. All right, here we go. Here's one. Here's one I think is this one will make you think a little bit.
All right.
I'm gonna go back to Taz on this one.
Okay.
Oregon is buying tradition.
Yeah, I think they are. I think they're riding the back of Phil Knight. That's what I think. I think they're buying tradition. They want to win this thing for Phil Knight. Of course, everybody's hearing about before he passed, they want to win a championship. All these exotic uniforms. I think they're buying tradition. I think they want to be the cool cat on the block with all these different uniforms and this fast go-go offense that Chip Kelly kind of brought in. So, yeah, I think they're buying it.
Steve?
No, I'll go opposite on this for y'all. Just to make
court's in session. Let's go, boys.
Your Honor, I'm sorry. Your Honor, I forgot.
Yeah, I want to argue the other side of the ball. I don't believe that they are trying to pay for tradition. I believe if you go back to the head coach before Chip Kelly, Mike Bellotti, he was developing something really good there. He has. Chip Kelly did. They did it on the field with speed. They still beat him in the field. Then they have fancy jerseys, but that didn't make them not tackle him. Dan Lannon, hard nosed, coming in there, solidifying, making a solid defense. I mean, I got to say that they're trying to build it the right way. They're not 100 years into it like some schools or even 50 years, but I don't think they're buying tradition. I think they're going to build it. I think they're building it brick by brick.
I love it for you. You use that brick by brick because you know that I love a brick by brick analogy.
Also own it. That's why I brought that up earlier.
Yeah. Before that, because I had to pick bias, like I had to be, either way on it. I thought that they were buying tradition as well, but I'm not gonna lie, I got to kind of roll with Steve on that one. So
yeah,
I think you presented a little bit better of a case. I got two more for today. I got 50,000 more, but I don't know if y'all want to do this all night because I got.
Let's go.
I went deep on this. Okay.
As long as you still got enough for other episodes, I'm good. Like I said, I only got a couple of little things I want to touch on, and that's it.
Steve, you don't understand. Like I've been traveling for work this week.
Uh-huh.
And I've been working at night, like nonstop. And like this is what I would do to like get my break in when I needed to like take. I would literally go walk around and just like brainstorm different things and like, all right, bet. And then it snowballed. And then it snowballed so much that I was like, damn, I gotta get back to work. Like I got work to do. Like, I love y'all, but this ain't paying my bills. That's paying my bills. I gotta get back to work.
Exactly.
All right, you ready for this? This is a wild prediction. Are you guys buying or selling this wild prediction? A kicker decides a playoff game.
Ooh.
I will buy it. I'll buy it. I'll buy it only because of just recent history. A lot of these are one-score games. I buy it. There's a lot of one-score games that's coming down to the end. I buy it. I mean, look at the playoff games. What we do, the Georgia Ole Miss. That was a good one.
That kicker right there got a boot on.
Yeah.
He broke his own record like 3 times in that game. But then you also have a kicker from Miami.
Right.
That can't kick the side of a bar.
That's right.
So I'll buy that one, yeah. Either one way or the other. One way or the other.
Exactly. Doesn't say win a playoff game. It's
decide
a playoff
decide
game.
It, yeah.
Right.
I can roll with that. But the crazy part is I think the last one that decided the playoff game was the Georgia Ohio State at midnight on New Year's Eve.
Right.
That's why I asked too, because like Taz brought up like recent tradition, but if you look at this round of playoffs, really, I mean, obviously the Ole Miss game was really close, one-score game, but the rest of them weren't really kicker decided at all. Like they were, I mean, they were just beatdowns essentially. Yeah. So that's why I was wondering, like we've hoped for and we've seen and we've thought like we're going to get really close matchups, but we really haven't. Like outside of, I mean, that Georgia Ole Miss game was obviously. And even wasn't even close for a while. I mean, it didn't make it a good game until really towards the end. So
Yeah.
That's why I thought it was a good one. Here's what I think. This one's going to go to Steve. Steve, I'm going to ask you, are we buying or selling this hot take regarding coaches that coordinators matter more than head coaches of programs now?
Hell yeah. I'm buying that. I believe coordinators are way more better, Your Honor, because they're the ones calling the plays. How many plays did Nick Saban call? Not that many. Ryan Day. Yeah, not that many. The head coaches want to turn into a CEO style now. Their play calling on the field, I don't believe is as important. I mean, yeah, they're chirping their ear, hey, what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? Or go for it on 4th down, or run this fake punt, what we did in practice. But I believe, look at when Ohio State's a perfect example. When you have Brian Hartline, he was in between jobs there in South Florida. Technically, he was the head coach at South Florida at the time. Yet he had to try to focus to call plays, and I think that hurt the offense. It did, and it does in a lot of other different places. What you got, Ted? Buying or selling?
He's selling.
I think I'm selling.
There we go.
Selling, man. Hey, look. Sometimes when the big boss is away, man, things don't go as well. I mean, we do have. Let's see. A recent, playoffs. Yeah, your boy Golden did win a game against Georgia, but if Kiffin probably was there for the Miami game, I think Kiffin wins that game. I think the big boss wins that one. So it comes. I think they're equally. They're both important, but I'm going with the head coach over the coordinators. I'm taking it. I'm taking the big bosses over the coordinators. What you got?
All right.
I got to roll with Taz on this one because I felt the same thing. I think all the coordinators are calling the plays. I think the head coach is heavily influencing that. Like, I really genuinely think, like your point, Lane Kiffin. If Lane Kiffin's on that game or on that sideline, that game is called completely different.
Yeah, most definitely.
100%. It's called, like I get it. Like, you obviously have Lacey as a running back, but I think the play action game is better. If you've got Lane Kiffin on the side, I think that he's going to try and really paint the edges of a field with his quarterback and spend more time. I mean, how many yards did Lacey have in that game rushing? And like that, while he's a great running back, like Lane Kiffin is going to try and dot you with play action and options and RPOs and things like that. And it wasn't really there. And I also think while coordinators are really great play callers, you cannot recruit without a head coach. Like, I genuinely think your head coach is the one that shows up in the helicopter and gets off the plane, because that's the one, or off the helicopter at high school games. He's the face that does the press conferences. You get offensive coordinators getting off the planes at high school games, no knows who they are. Well, that's right, wrong, or different. It's just the way that it currently is. Like, who are you, the offensive coordinator for Delaware? Come on now. And I say that as a Delaware hen committed. Right. You're going to rebuttal?
I have a quick rebuttal. On that same argument, Taz. On that same argument. If Lane Kiffin wouldn't have got fired by Nick Saban, do they beat Clemson?
Ooh.
Kiffin's a coordinator.
Yes, I think they do. But I also, I'm convinced that Nick could have probably hired a better to replace him with.
So you're not sold on Sark?
I'm not sold on Sark.
Nah, I'll give you that one.
I'm not sold on Sark.
You got that argument, Ted.
Yeah.
I still got to roll. I'm not sold on Sark either. I'm still going to side with Taz on that one, I think.
You got that one.
Oh, yeah.
I almost gave it to Steve, though, because he called me Your Honor. So I got to be real honest with you.
We'll work into it as the year goes on.
Man, that's awesome, Matt. I like that.
I've got an SEC one, but I'm saving it for when we're ready to talk about the SEC. So, Steve, you tell me whenever you're tired of this, and we'll transition with that last question. But we'll just do two more. Okay. All right.
Shoot.
Cool.
A 3-loss team makes the playoff this year. Steve, you buying or selling?
I'm a sell. I am. I think the committee's proven that they only go by the loss column and they don't really care about strength of schedule or who you play. And that was my biggest thing when it went to 12 teams, when I saw all these preseason where you could bet if they're going to make the playoff and stuff. I just wanted to see how they're going to do it. And as if you notice, so every year since we've had a playoff and a committee, it's usually been based off the loss record. They don't care about strength of schedule. What about you, Taz?
I'm thinking. What team possibly can? There's several teams that I think if they have 3 losses, they can get in there.
So will they make it?
Let me. I'll rebuttal. Yeah, I'll go with it. I'll say a 3-loss team makes it this year. Yeah, I'll see. I'm looking at several teams that can possibly win in there. I think a 3-loss ACC team make it. Yeah,
that's hot.
Yeah, I think a 3-loss ACC team will make the playoffs.
He said next to I got to fan myself.
I mean, look,
that's a hot take.
Hot take court.
Check this, Matt. We'll go with it's an if. It's an if, but it's if. But what if the ACC would have had last year in place the conference champion going to the playoffs? That was a 5-loss team that made the playoffs.
You got that one.
I think a 3-loss team will make the playoffs,
and that's the rule now. The winner of the group of 4, whoever wins that conference, gets an automatic bid.
Right.
So yeah,
I'm going with
you got that one. You took that. That was a good one.
I'm going to do that.
Listen, Steve had you until
I thought I did.
Yeah,
attaboy.
And then he comes out left field with the ACC.
I'm gonna make a good one, and then we'll end on the SEC one that I've got. Okay. And again, I've got this will be an every week thing, boys. I promise. I enjoy this. Okay. And I just let y'all know I'm committed to this, fully committed. I won't share. I told y'all before, but y'all are gonna tune in next week to see that it committed because I hit the order button. We committed. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I have a slide set up for us as well.
Yep.
I will. Yep.
All right, here we go. A field storming ends up costing a school over $1 million by the end of this season. Do you buy or sell that's going to happen?
Who want to go first? I think I want to first last.
Taz, I'll go to you first. I'll go Taz. I got to see my
over $1 million. All right, I'm going to buy it. I buy it. I think there's going to be some upsets this year. Let's see. There'll be a team that I'm just going to use an example. Oklahoma State is probably going to win a game they're not used to winning, and I think they'll win some games because you got one team that's vulnerable right now, Texas Tech. They're really vulnerable, and they don't have their quarterback, and they got some nice games they're going to play, a la Houston Cougars early on.
We played them in Lubbock, though.
That's okay. They're going to storm the field.
Lubbock going to storm the field on us when we beat them?
No, they're going to storm the field.
Yeah, we going to beat them.
Yeah. I think a team will storm the field. Go ahead. What you got, Steve?
That's a good argument there. Because you look at it and you think about some of these games, like Ole Miss, if they beat LSU, they're storming the field. I mean, hands down. You know what I'm saying? Some of the bigger rivalries, I don't know if you'll really get those. Clemson, they storm the field after every win. They do.
I'm saying.
It don't matter who they play. So that can get to be costly. Because I think the first time's like $500,000 or something like that. So they got to storm the field at least probably twice.
So it's gone up each year because it was $250,000. And then it goes to 500, and then it goes to, I think, $1 million after that, and then some more additional punishments. But this year, I believe they changed it to start at 500.
Yeah,
as opposed to the 250. So they're upping it more and more and more.
You storm fields. Ooh, I can see South Carolina doing it.
Yeah, that's the team I thought about.
I could see South Carolina taking $1 million fine, coming off of a bad year like they had last year, and the energy and everything they got in that stadium. I can see South Carolina taking the hit on the money. Go ahead.
I said a team that's vulnerable this year that's been pretty steady for the last several years, have been beating everybody, and that's Penn State. I think Penn State's vulnerable this year.
Yeah. I
think the Northwestern can beat Penn State. They catch them right.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
What about they'll storm the field here at Florida State.
If they beat who?
Anybody?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I said.
And they got what? New Mexico week 1 at
Well,
home? Oh, we're storming the field.
I don't think they'll storm against SMU.
If they beat them, they better because that's a hell of a team they playing. I don't think they're gonna beat.
I don't think they'll storm the field though. I think they will have to beat one of their rivals.
Where they get
Bro,
y'all?
I looked it up, and we had 13 storming last year, field storms last
Really?
year.
But
That's it.
And the most, that's it. So that's what I'm saying. So here's Florida State. Florida State stormed the field.
For real? Who did
Yeah.
they beat?
Alabama.
Alabama.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that ruined the
And
year.
they
for
thought
me.
they were over that playoff snub.
Yeah, well, they did show up.
They thought that win and that field storm was going to take them there. Virginia, after they beat Florida State.
I remember that. They did. Did y'all remember? I don't mean to cut you off. You remember seeing the end of that game when that incomplete
God,
pass
crazy.
to the end zone, and
Your
then
boy-
the crowd just rushed onto the field
Your boy,
afterwards?
Squirrel White.
Yeah,
He got caught up in that.
yeah, that was
He just
insane.
disappeared.
Yeah, he was
Bro,
gone.
we were texting during that. Like I remember, like it was wild.
Yeah,
To me, and maybe we'll try to do a little bit of a topic on that. We can get some video up and we can share like a top 10 field storming like one of these weeks. But
heck yeah.
you'll see and rate them. But Colorado, after upsetting Iowa State last year, stormed the
I
field.
can see that. Yeah, I can see that. They sucked last year.
Yeah. Wisconsin over Washington rushed the
Mhm.
field.
That was
So
a
it's
an
always
important game.
13-10. Yeah.
I can see those.
I remember watching it.
Mississippi State, after upsetting Arizona State, stormed the field. Can you imagine being Arizona State trying to get off the field and you got those damn cowbells in your head?
Ding, 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 ding,
I'm
ding,
fighting.
ding.
I'm
Oh,
fighting. I want to fight
Yeah.
already. I can't imagine them storming the field and doing it in my ear.
Oh my God, we'll
Georgia
never
Tech.
get to a game there.
Georgia Tech over Clemson last year.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And then Cincinnati over Iowa. And then there's some smaller ones that did it as well.
yeah.
But yeah, those are the main ones that did.
Wow, that's crazy. See, I guess we'll have to maybe sell that then.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see some of
I
those.
could have swore it seems like there was more.
I can see,
You know
I
what
can
I'm
see the
saying?
schools like a UCLA, Oklahoma State that's brought pretty much their whole team over.
Yeah,
I can see UCLA beating someone and storming the field. Easy. I mean, the way they've been playing lately. The same with Oklahoma State.
The SEC is the only one that raised the fines, by the way.
Uh,
So the SEC went to 500,000. The ACC still at 50,000 to start.
so we have to beat twice for an SEC team.
Mississippi State is going to have to chase lightning twice this year.
dang, I don't see that.
What about Vandy?
Well, they expect to win now.
Yeah, but they don't have Pavia.
No, I mean they still got. I think they've got a pretty solid team still. I know we'll do our conference previews, but
Yeah,
they do have. They don't have. I've got nicknames for them that I can't say on the show, but they don't have Pavia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That'll be one of your guys that you would love to interview this year. I guess.
Oh yeah, for sure. Give me time with it. All right, last one, and we're going to transition
Yep.
into talking about the SEC after this. I know
Yep.
Steve gave some opinions, and I'm ready to take the opposite on that. On
right.
that one, Your Honor.
Your
All
Honor.
right, the SEC does not have another team again in the national championship this year.
I'm selling.
I'm buying.
Let's go. Start.
I'm
Give me the buy first.
I'll give you the what?
Goodbye.
Give me the buy.
Yeah, I think there's a shift of power. Just like we're going to segue into the next thing. I think they play really good ball. I think that the Big Ten, I think, is really the top tier of the Big Ten. Miami coming up, Indiana. I won't put Michigan up there because they pretty fell off. Ohio State's still going to be solid. Oregon's still going to be a top 3 in the Big Ten. You got Miami in the ACC. Nobody in the Big 12. You know what I'm saying? But plus the SEC ain't had the best time against the Big Ten in the playoff the last 2 years either. They haven't beat them yet. So I'm actually going to buy that. I'm buying, right? Yeah, I'm buying it. That there will not be an SEC school in the national championship. Oh, and my boy Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, who was my preseason #1 pick. So yeah, no, there won't be a SEC. It'll be Notre Dame and Oregon or maybe Ohio State.
Well, now I think you're Delulu. But
Yeah, I think it is.
I'm with you on that point.
I'm selling.
Yeah.
I'm selling. I'm going. SEC will have a team in the playoffs last year. Now you got to consider 2 of the teams played each other, so they kind of.
Well, the question is national championship game.
I know, but they kind of beat each other last year. You know, a couple games. It was the Georgia, Ole Miss, and Oklahoma.
Alabama.
And Alabama got eliminated. So that's 4 teams that was in. But me personally, I really do think that if the chaos didn't happen at Ole Miss, that Ole Miss would have been in the championship last year without all that chaos going on and taking coaches and, you know, and causing chaos, you know, within the team. But I think now with Lane being where he is, I think he's got a great shot. Kirby's got his quarterbacks coming back this year. Texas has added more firepower to Arch. Arch got another season under his belt. I don't think Ole Miss is going to do what they're going to do before. Texas A&M, you know, right scenario. I'm looking at Matty Ice over here. They got a new quarterback, and that quarterback legit, and that's what you need. You know, if the chips,
power.
Yeah, if the chips fall the right way, Missouri can be one of those teams. They can get 5 teams in the playoffs.
You know, they're only speaking of Missouri.
I think with more teams in the playoffs, I say somebody get in the play. I think they get in the championship. I really do.
Missouri is the only team with 2 96+ rated players in NCAA 27.
Yeah.
Caden Green on the line and Ahmad Hardy if he has both legs and they're functional. And, but both only team with 2 96+ rated players.
It's got to count for something.
And hopefully, at least in the video game, it will.
I want to put this one on the board. I want to snip this and put this on the board. Okay. I don't think that y'all are saying that will. I say that won't. And like I said, I'm not saying because I don't think the SEC is good. I think everybody else around them just came up.
Yeah, I think
I do.
If you look at this, I've been looking at this the last 3 years. The Big Ten's won, right? But at the same time, the Big Ten's been having some, I wouldn't say luck, but there's been some fortunate situations that helped them out. Michigan, you know what happened with Michigan. We know that there was some, you know, some funny stuff going on.
No, they were cheating.
Okay. All right. So that's how they won that one. Ohio State, they were fortunate. They were really fortunate only because of the playoffs change. Because outside of it being expanded, they wouldn't have been in the playoffs. So that changed. That helped them out. And of course, like I said, I'm giving Cincinnati his credit because they really went through. But those other 2, I think it's kind of questionable.
I don't know. I can argue that.
You can argue the Michigan?
Michigan, no. They straight up. I mean, they were recording and everything else. I can't argue Michigan.
Yeah.
I can't. But I can argue the Cincinnati and Ohio State.
Ohio State got the benefit because the playoff was Hispanic that year.
And they beat the brakes off of everybody along the way. Look at what they did against #1 Oregon in the Rose Bowl. That game was over by the second quarter.
Right. But
they came in and busted all them.
But I think it was a
then
one.
They went and took on Texas, the SEC school.
Okay. So what happened?
It beat them too.
So what happened last year with Ohio State?
They lost to Miami because the quarterback threw a damn pick 6 and he didn't.
Yeah, but they lost their offensive coordinator.
And they also got 2 stops inside of the 20, which was.
But they lost their offensive coordinator, which was Chip Kelly, which ran the offense.
Brian Hartline ain't that bad. Now they averaged 40-something points a game.
If he wasn't that bad, why did they take the role from him?
Because of what we was talking about. Because he got the job.
But if he was
as
good
the head
enough,
coach.
but why did you pull it from him? If
we're not arguing Ohio State from last year. They didn't win last year.
No, but what I'm saying is it's year to year.
And Cincinnati was a buzzsaw.
But football's year to year.
The only teams that should have beat Cincinnati last year was Oregon and Iowa.
But Iowa was the only year-to-year game.
Mm-hmm.
It's year to year. That's what I'm saying.
Go back, run back.
Let me ask. I'm trying to be partial here.
Come on. Iowa.
Listen, counsel, let me ask you a question. Do you think that Indiana has what it takes to run it back again this year is what you're saying? Because it's year to year, like Tez's point. You're saying that Indiana can do it again.
This year?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about is this year. We're not talking about last year.
This year.
Well, I was rebuttaling on him saying that it was a fluke. But this year?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if
Honestly,
you're looking at
this year, I still don't think an SEC school makes it in the championship game.
I do. I'm convinced.
I know.
all right, so
Can we make a pick? Can we make a quick pick?
yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
I got Notre Dame and Oregon.
Yeah, pin that craziness.
I'm
Nah.
pinning.
Nah, I don't.
I got the whiteboard right over there.
Yeah, write that nastiness down.
Oregon and Notre Dame. Who you got, Taz? One of them better got to be SEC.
It's
school.
gonna be an SEC. You keep it up, it's gonna be 2 of them.
You can't do all that now and be like, give me 2 random.
No, it'll be 2 of them. Yeah, I think this year, I think Lane makes it.
LSU?
I think LSU make it.
That's a hot take.
I think there's a hot take. I think LSU make it. And I think, because I'm thinking schedules to see how things are going to play off the seeding. I think LSU make it. I think Kirby make it.
LSU, Georgia, national
I think
championship.
Kirby make it.
All right, hold on. I got Oregon, Notre Dame. You got Georgia,
LSU.
LSU. All right, Your Honor, who do you got? These are early, quick hot takes just to look back and laugh because we'll probably all be wrong.
I just need one in.
So I'm gonna rage bait Steve here. I'm just gonna do this. All right. I'm gonna rage bait Steve, and I'm gonna rage bait my best friend Anthony, who I know listens to this podcast too, just to see how many Michigan digs I take. But I'm gonna go Texas and Ohio State.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that one too.
And I board it. Texas wins 31-27. Book it, Dano.
31-27?
31-27.
Shoot, I think Notre Dame wins 27-10, 27-13.
What is it? Okay. Well, I guess we'll get to it when we get to that time. But Notre Dame,
I'm sold on them this year. Their offensive line's back finally. Their quarterback's coming back. They have one of the best secondaries in the country. Their running
sounds like
game.
you've got a Marcus Freeman crush like my wife does. Like
No. They got to look at their schedule. I mean, hell, they can't help. They can fall down and win 11 games.
That's fine. But just like when I mentioned to you last year with Ohio State dominated everybody. You have to be tested at some point. If you're not tested and you make the playoffs and you're tested, you fold it.
No, don't play Miami. Miami go up to South Bend.
You're gonna fold.
Taz, what's your score and who's your winner?
I think Kirby. Kirby. No, I'm not sold on Kirby winning. I think Lane wins it because I'm not sold on Bobo as a play caller. I'm sold on Charlie and Lane as play callers. So I'll take
September 12th for Notre Dame is the game to watch.
SMU?
Oh.
No. Rice.
Oh, wow. Hell with you.
Yes, Steve. You watching that one?
Don't lose the food.
You gotta have into that game.
Don't lose the food.
Come on. Steve's gonna be wearing his Rice stuff there.
We'll get to see him firsthand when they play Stanford. Y'all see what I'm talking about?
Great.
3:30 game.
Rice. Go
What's
out.
score, Taz? Who's winning?
Let's go. I'm going Lane. Let's go 41-21.
Ooh, high scoring. I like that. There it is, everybody. It'll be on the big board.
Just hot takes. It's backwards. But yeah.
Oh, probably so. All
All
right.
right. That'll end the court for this and transition into the SEC.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I enjoyed that. Thank you, Your Honor.
Trust me, I got plenty more, and they just get more controversial as it goes. So
Even better.
there's some good ones.
So moving into that, I wanted to get y'all's opinion because, like I said, y'all wasn't here the other night because y'all had some other stuff. Is the SEC and Sankey losing power? Who wants to take that?
No.
All right. Why?
I'm very passionate about this. So being a former Big 12 homer who's obviously spent years being an SEC guy, now being rejected by every fan base saying we don't belong in the SEC. I can't believe we're falling on the sword. But I just do want to remind, the first point that I want to make on this is that the SEC distributed over $1 billion in the year 24, fiscal year 24 and 25. And I would just like to start this argument by saying if that's losing power, I'd also like to be powerless. 1 billion, by the way, with a B, not an M. Like, that's not losing power. That is still, like, I like to think of this as the others are coming up around them. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're losing power. Like, the Big Ten is starting to build an empire, but the SEC still has the deed. Like, they still have that house deed. And, like, to our point earlier, like Taz talked about, like, the SEC had some unfortunate matchups in the playoff last year that, like, it was self-sabotage. Like, you got 4 teams. Yep. The most that you can get to a championship game from the way that the playoff was set is 2 out of your 4 that are in there, out of, like, to start with, right? You can't make it past that. And because if you look at the games that were played, like Oklahoma, Alabama, not a bad game.
No. I thought Oklahoma was going to win that game. I was cheering for Oklahoma.
I did too. You got and then Georgia and Ole Miss.
That was a great game.
Phenomenal game. And then Ole Miss went on to play another phenomenal game.
Yeah, against Miami. That was a hell of a game too.
I genuinely think, and I'm not a Bama guy or anything else like that, I think had the cards fallen, I think Oklahoma is still a first round out. I just don't think that they were built to go deep. But I think had the cards fallen and Alabama played Miami, I think Alabama would have gone. I think Alabama would have made it, and they would have taken that defensive scheme would have been enough to shut down Carson Beck's offense for sure. Genuinely, I think that they would have struggled against a typical SEC defense. So I genuinely think that they're not losing power. I just think that they have had a tougher get to the national championship game through self-sabotage, not just last year, but the year before that too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just where the bowls fall and the seeding falls. Yep. You've also got, the SEC championship game that typically features 2 top 5, sometimes, mostly all the time, 2 top 10 teams.
Yep.
And, I can make an argument that the SEC, in order to keep their power and keep being, daddy of the conferences, would need the need to eliminate the SEC championship game. I don't think they ever will. They added a conference game, for Christ's sake, that's going to keep them harder to get into the playoff now by adding that other game late in the season, right? Because now you can't have that cupcake game at the end of the season anymore. It's a 9th conference game now. Like, that is not going to help your cards at the end of the season to get there. So the path is harder because the conference is harder, which makes them daddy.
Makes them daddy.
What you got, Taz?
I agree with them. I agree that they're not losing power. One, because for the most part, except maybe one big issue with the Big Ten, they disagree on with the 24 or 16 teams. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, Petiti is actually standing with Sankey in a lot of areas. And I think if Sankey's losing power, that means Petiti's losing power. And I don't think that both of those are going to lose power together. Mm. I think they're sticking hand in hand. I mean, because the biggest issue I think right now, where they don't want to bend or give in to the College Football Act, is because of Cody Campbell's involvement.
That's right.
And they're going to fight that to the end. So I don't think they're going to be losing power anytime soon, or if at all.
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong, like, there's still the league that everybody's trying to convince.
Well, definitely.
Right? Because, like, the Big Ten wants to go to 24, and we know how Sankey feels about it. Guess what's not going to happen without Sankey's nod of approval?
Yep.
And Sankey's not going to any other conference and saying, hey, guys, let's do this. Right? No, they're coming. It's the Godfather, and they're showing up on the day of his daughter's wedding to kiss Don Corleone's hand. Like, that is the way it is. So while Sankey, I hate that it's the power argument is kind of around national championships only, when Sankey is literally trying to protect the regular season. Not only like by making it more competitive in the SEC, adding that extra conference game in, not even considering getting rid of the championship game, to make it competitive. Like, I think he's investing more in the SEC as a conference itself. And to me, whether that ends in national championships or not, I think it's actually a crazy confident stance to take in his conference, which to me makes it more powerful, because it's like, we'll play better football. And that's the thing. Like, that SEC championship game is going to get more views than half the playoff games ever will. It's going to sell out faster. It's going to get more views. Typically, it's going to be a better game in most cases than some of the playoff games. Like, he knows that SEC championship game, and with the fan bases, a lot of times that SEC championship game is cared about more than what happens after that. We saw that with Georgia fans, right?
Mhm.
Well, the Georgia fans were talking to us about it, like, oh, this is the quarterfinals. Like, they care about the SEC championship more than they cared about being in the quarterfinals,
Right.
because it just means more, right? Like, that's really what it comes down to in the SEC. They got away with the divisions. I do think that at some point they're going to have to rethink that and kind of put that back, instead of, especially if you've got, you're trying to build a mega conference, you're going to have to put the divisions back in. Really, an East West, maybe even 4 of them in smaller.
The pod. Yep.
Yeah, like, pot them up. But I think, I still think the SEC is the confident leader in college football as far as the conference goes.
Yep.
All right, can I play devil's advocate in this?
Shoot.
Just to spark discussion.
I'm ready.
All right. So with the reason they went to the 9-game regular season was because they was told they was going to expand the playoff. It's the only reason they really agreed to it. And now Petitti, like I said on the last one, I think Petitti's trying to play Sankey like Kevin Warren did Larry Scott. Because remember, during COVID, Kevin Warren in the Big Ten told the Big 12 and the Pac-12, we're going to make an alliance because the SEC is trying to expand and do all this. And all the time, he's backdooring, talking to USC and UCLA. And because he knew the TV deal was a mess. And then in this right here, I think Petitti kind of hustled Sankey a little bit to get him to get to that 9th game and say, oh, yeah, we'll expand. He knew Sankey didn't want 24. He knew that from the get-go. So he's like, yeah, we'll expand, get your 9th game. Gets the 9th game, just like y'all say, that accumulates an extra loss. Yeah. Now you don't have these 2-loss SEC schools, you got 3. And how does the College Football Playoff Committee pick the top 12? They do it by wins and losses. No matter what the hell they say, they do it by wins and losses. Knowing that the Big Ten is more top-heavy, that the Big Ten, I think Petitti tried to hustle Sankey to go to 9 games, come into a stalemate on the playoff, have the SEC schools get more losses, Big Ten has less, and now they get more teams in the playoff, which generates and brings in more revenue. It does.
I can see that point, but I don't think that would be because the Big Ten is more top heavy.
I'm saying their conference is more top heavy.
As far as numbers go.
No, I'm talking about in the Big Ten, top to bottom, they're more top heavy than they are up and down. Like,
oh, I got you. I'm saying the same thing.
No, I'm not saying whatchamacallit. The SEC, I believe, is more competitive top to bottom. The Big Ten, I believe, is more top heavy. 1 through 5, 1 through 6 are head and shoulders better than 7 through however many.
Right.
So at the point that it was not going to expand, Sankey could have doubled back.
I wouldn't have went to 9 games. I told him. No.
So the 9 game, though, is not just it just requires an annual Power 4 or Notre Dame, not like specifically lists out Notre Dame by name to invite them to come into the SEC and play, because it gives them a home and home opportunity, home and home. Like, we're offering that up. We're not, because like those cupcake games are like obviously home games for these guys, but we're looking for that to create that playoff feel already. We're offering to go play in their turf that next year. Like, we're offering to do that. I think it's less about playoff expansion. I think it's more about, honestly, I'm going to say it like I genuinely think it is. I think the SEC has always been revenue driven. And I think that 9th game, and, if you guys, like, let's just say, we can take last week of football, or second to last week of football. And if Alabama is no longer playing Chattanooga State and they're going to touchdown Jesus, right, and playing Notre Dame, suddenly that becomes the biggest game in that whole week, because every other conference is still doing what that week?
Yeah, they're pretty much. I mean, they're playing conference games, but some of them still do cupcakes.
most of them, right, at that point in the season. And then you've got Alabama at Notre Dame, which doesn't impact the SEC championship game.
Nope.
It's like Greg Sankey's still protecting his championship game overall, but does make that argument to say, all right, well, let's see if the big boys can get in to the playoffs and earn that win. Because I don't see that as much as a loss, because it only requires them to play each other every 2 years on that. They have to go and find a Power Four. So they don't necessarily – it's not going to be SEC on SEC dominance every single time. It could be Power Four opponents that are coming in still.
Right.
And the definition of Power Four, like, give me Stanford, bro. I'll take Stanford every year.
Because Wake Forest.
Like you said, give me somebody that I know that I can dominate.
Yeah.
And I'll get rid of your cupcake school. I'm not a fan of getting rid of the cupcake schools, because I think the cupcake schools rely on that revenue. And
Right.
it helps them be able to continue to be, well, I don't want to necessarily call them cupcakes, but it helps them stay alive. But there's workarounds around this. Like, you can still go get, Stanford, for example, or Syracuse, right? Notre Dame beat Syracuse 70-7. If I'm an SEC school and I'm looking at that, like, of a schedule of that Power Four, Syracuse is technically, right? I can go and play Syracuse. I can go up there in the dome in the winter and be warm. You know what I mean? Like, I can go up there and run all over them for, 400 yards a game and beat them 70-7 too. I think I get your point. I can see the expansion argument as far as, like, it was kind of playing chess, but I think the ultimate chess board still belongs to Greg Sankey and the revenue play that he gets out of this by that ninth game. Because we're no longer having to pay schools at that point. Like, we're making money.
Yeah. You're saving the $2 million a game or whatever for buying out.
10, 15, 20.
Yeah, generate more revenue.
Genuinely, the SEC is a business.
Oh, most definitely.
And I don't think, like, the ACC obviously can't say that. Like, and I don't want to be too disrespectful in the ACC, because, like, they're letting us come, hang out with them, ask them questions. We're eternally grateful, so I don't want to spend that. But, like, if you look at the business models, right, the Big Ten, when they are designing their business model, is looking at what the SEC board is. And that's how they're building it. Like, you don't go to conference expansion, and they still screwed it up by bringing the West Coast. Like, you look at conference – I'm going to make this one more argument here. Like, conference expansion, the SEC could have went out and grabbed any of the Pac-12 teams that have been begging to get out. They could have grabbed Clemson, who's been like, God, please save us from the ACC for years. Florida State has been begging to get out of the ACC, but they didn't, right? They went and took Texas and Oklahoma, two of the biggest national powerhouses in college football, year over year over year. Longhorn Network, they bought the Longhorn Network out from him and said, no, homie, like, you're going to be on our TV. You're going to be on the SEC network, right? Whereas the Big Ten's like, we're not going to be the Big Ten anymore. We're going to expand, and we're going to take in all these stray kids from the West Coast and create a terrible athlete experience from back and forth to the West Coast, the East Coast. We're not going to think about our fans that aren't going to fly across the country. We're not going to think about our student athletes. We want to be the SEC. We're just dumb in trying to do it this way. It's a bad business model. The model that the Big Ten has, as far as their current model of expanded teams, is not sustainable. For recruiting, for student athletes, for fans, you will never be able to build the rivalries and the camaraderie /love/hate that the SEC has for each other and its fan base, because nobody's going from California to Ohio. They're just not for a football game. They can't. I guess, not in today's world of plane tickets.
Yeah, or rubbish.
I know I'm talking about. I'm sorry, Steve. Like, that's
no, you're good.
Yeah, attacking the boy.
I'm still a Southwest Conference and Big 8 fan. So let's go back to that. I hate college expansion.
Missouri's most relevant years were in the Big 8. Let's go back.
Yeah, like I said, I'll even take it back to the old Big 12, but I hate conference expansion. I'll spitball this one up. I'm good with the SEC thing, man. Just for y'all's opinion, how do y'all? Because we ain't really talked about this. How do y'all feel about conference expansion? Like I said, I hate it.
I mean, I like it. I like change to some extent, because you get to see some teams that don't never play each other. Like I said, I agreed to the point with the Pac-12 because there was so much uncertainty over there. It's like they had to do something, so I was kind of okay with that. Colorado going back, to the Big 12, I think that was okay.
But just all things equal, not TV deals or the money or chasing none of that. Just all things equal.
Oh, you talking? Well, I thought you were just talking expansion.
Yeah.
You know.
So what is the, for clarity, because I thought we were talking expansion too.
Right.
Yeah, no, we are. I'm just saying, I mean, do you like where the teams are in different conferences now?
Well, no, I mean,
You know
like
what I'm saying?
the California schools traveling all across country. I mean, I like, teams being in their vicinity.
That's why I would say I think they should have one college football media deal. If you have one college football media deal, then it don't matter if you're in the SEC or the Big Ten or the Pac-12 or the Mountain West, because y'all get the same rep. Just like it doesn't matter in the NFL if you're in the NFC East or the AFC South or the NFC North. If you have one of them, then we could get back and get these regional matchups back too. Like you said, you don't nobody want to fly from Rutgers to LA. You know what I'm saying? Let's if we get on the same block to where the money isn't a factor, then we could get back to realigning back to the way it was and bring back some of these rivalries. I mean, we've had segments every show. Yep. Look at the rivalries that we've lost because of it. I hate realignment. I do.
So I agree with you. I'm anti, and I've got a couple of points to make. I know that we're college football Sunday, right? But think about the impact realignment has on non-football.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you look at the ACC, for example, and they released their earnings statement, right? After they started adding teams way out there, everywhere else, like they reported losses in those other departments because like the strain, like football pays the bills, as everybody knows, but like your other departments still function and they're just as important. Like obviously football is my favorite, but college athletes and athletics across the board, like baseball is my first love. Like, and it's just as important to me. And you're not putting these kids in a way, because they are kids and they are student athletes. You're taking them out of the classroom to fly. But 2024 and 2025, most of the non-football departments and non-football sports reported losses in revenue overall because of the operating costs, because you can't take a bus anymore. You got to fly, right? And then a school chartering a jet. Most of these teams have the kids flying coach on regular flights.
Mm-hmm.
And regular flights get what all the time? Delayed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. You could have a Spirit airline flight, show up at the airport, and they went out of business at 12:45 in the morning. I literally had a flight booked for 2 days.
Yeah.
So like you're putting these people in situations that it's not looking out for them. I do agree with you. I think that it's the regional alignment, the rivalries, it's killed all of that. I also think that conference realignment like just makes the rich richer, right? Like you've got the SEC, and I'm a pro SEC guy in the Big Ten, but like it hurts the middle class programs when you think about it. Like you think about it from an economic standpoint, it hurts everybody else around them that can't carry their weight anymore. Like I also don't like turning into conference games and them having to give geography lessons every single time.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do that. Like you should be able to not have to put the stupid little plane up, or our Ireland game, right? Where we're going to see Lance Leopold on a broom flying over there. I also think that like back to our last point I'll make on it, like back to the debate, or I'm sorry, like talking about the playoffs, I think it makes the playoff conversation really messy with conference expansion. Because like if you've got the SEC championship, for example, and that 9th conference game now and things like that, like, are we really getting the best 12 teams in there? If, we've got 16 team conferences and they're all like, I don't know. I just don't think I think it gives us bigger brands, which is great, gives us bigger games, but it also just makes college football not feel like college football anymore. And I mean, you couple that and now the money that's around NIL, and to me, it's just those two things of conference realignment and NIL go hand in hand for just things that have got to get reined back in quick.
Mm-hmm. What you got to ask?
Yeah. Do you guys think it's possible, like going forward, because everybody's talking about this thing's not sustainable, with money and things of that nature, but like Olympic sports, I'll use Notre Dame for instance. Like Notre Dame's independent, but their basketball team's in the Big East, so it makes more sense for their team to be in the Big East, less travel. They're not traveling across country. Some of the Olympic sports are in the Big East. Depends on what the sport is. you know. So you guys think possibly that, that may be something looked at to where, okay, football may do their own thing, but Olympic sports can be in different conferences to help with travel, things of that nature to kind of,
I
don't think it hurts. Like, so Missouri wrestles in the Big 12.
right.
For the people, right? They wrestle in the Big 12. But I will say their program gets excluded from revenue sharing. Like when the SEC
that makes sense.
distributes their revenue, and like every school, and they do it equally, the Missouri wrestling program does not get the funds that the SEC distributes.
Yeah, that's something to look at also.
Yeah, they'd have to figure that part out on the back end as well. They would. Yeah. Huh, that's a pretty good topic right there, fellas. Y'all want to go through our fantasy bracket and see who we got to move on?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go, everybody. We're gonna do semifinals and finals, and I think the way that all our discussions have been going tonight, it's gonna be pretty interesting and good. So, what do y'all want? We'll start with number 1. We got Kirby Smart and Lane Kiffin versus Dan Lanning and Ryan Day.
So this is the only one we're doing tonight, right?
No, we're gonna do all 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
You want to say championship next one? That's all good. That's all good.
Well, next ones will be the
Yes.
preview show.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll
Okay,
be
so we're gonna do 1 and 4 and 3 and 2.
and media day recaps from here till the end of the year or the start of the year.
All right.
All right, well, I'm gonna go first on this one.
All right.
Kirby and Lane. Like, to me, we all know how I feel about Ryan Day. Like, y'all, more importantly, Dan Lanning. I don't think that there's a better pairing in college football that you could put in this bracket than Kirby and Lane, and I hate it for the next choice that comes through on the other side of that, because Kirby and Lane, to me, that's dynamic. Just give them the Nick Saban national championship belt.
They are the number 1 seed. Dan? Yeah.
I'm leaning there also because, like I said, I'm questionable with Ryan Day also because I've watched him, and there's oftentimes he'll abandon the run.
Bingo.
Happy.
Bingo.
He gets. I guess he gets kind of frustrated or whatever with his play calling or whatever. But he was totally abandon the run and go past Happy. And
Yeah,
you
that's what cost them a couple of national championships.
Right.
All right, bang the gavel, Matt.
Your Honor.
Clean sweep. I'm going with Kirby and Lane too. I think just a defensive Kirby. Like I said, I try to look at it too, like cross-referencing, where all right, Ryan Day's offense against Kirby Smart's defense.
Yeah,
those have been really tight, close games. They have, and then I look at Lane Kiffin's offense against a Dan Lanning defense. And I think I like Dan Lanning, and he's solid. He came up from underneath Kirby. He did, from Georgia to Oregon. But I just think Lane's that extra step ahead. They are. So number 1 seed moves on. I don't have the updated bracket, so we're just going to talk through it.
cool. Are you good?
Because I didn't know how we was going to pick. All right, next one we got here. We got number 2, Venables and Lincoln Riley against number 3, Marcus Freeman and Kirk Cignetti. Ted, you want this one first?
I'll go first. I'll take Cignetti Freeman on this one. The issue is Venables. He's definitely going to have a championship defense, but Riley at times tend to kind of fade also with his play calling. I think a lot of times he kind of gets a little pass heavy, more run game. Because if you think about Lincoln, that's what you think about. You're thinking about his quarterbacks, receivers, the offense, the numbers they put up. It's very seldom you think about his running backs. You know, I mean, who was the top running back he's had over the last couple of years, even in Oklahoma?
Right.
I mean, they don't really stand out. He's had some good ones, but they don't stand out like the quarterbacks and the receivers. So I think he's kind of Dan Lannish.
All right, we'll make it entertaining. I'll make you, Matt. You're gonna have to decide and vote on this one because I'm gonna take Venables and Riley.
Yeah,
I think Brent Venables' defense can hold Cignetti in check, and I think Lincoln Riley can light up Marcus Freeman on defense. Cignetti is a good play call, as a good offensive guy. Freeman's solid on defense. I just think Lincoln Riley is head and shoulders better. And Venables, like he said, when he took over play calling and they asked him why, he said, because I'm good at it. And he got the chips to prove it.
So you got I'm good at it versus Google me.
Oh, most definitely. Because Signetti got 1 and Venables got 3.
I'm Google me.
I'm
Well, Signetti has 2. I mean, if you look
good
at Venables, he's got 2
got
with
3.
Clemson.
And 1 at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
And probably could have won a couple more. Should be the Florida team.
Nah, they shouldn't have been that. Nah. Hey, dude, that Florida game, the tone was set at first play of the game.
That was, yeah. He went for his head.
Oh, yeah. He didn't want the ball.
Yeah, major. He wasn't playing.
Google that.
Yeah. All right, you're the deciding factor, Matt. Who you got?
God, I hate this.
It's been easy. Yeah.
This is right now. Like if I had to do right now, am I making my pick right now? I'm going with Freeman and Signetti. Here's why. I do think that Venables and Riley have the bigger names. Honestly, they're the better. Big. I don't want to say better, but I think Freeman and Signetti have the better current case to be made. One turned Notre Dame really into a playoff era bully. Honestly, like that's what they've done, and the other made Indiana football matter. I mean, that's not just coaching; that's really branding overall. I think I base mine really on 2 things: big game trust. Like, look what Riley is an offensive genius, but he has postseason ceiling for sure. Venables can build a defense, but his head coaching record is still really kind of unseen. I think Riley gives you the good fireworks you need, and Venables gives you structure. But Freeman and Signetti, I mean, to me, just looking at the record, like they believe, they're the best. And then program building, I don't even think it's close. I don't think I have to go down that. To me, that's the thing that gives the edge is that, Freeman and Signetti, they build programs by a mile.
I can see that one.
So I think it's close.
Yeah.
And I hated being the tiebreaker. Honestly, I'm probably going to go that way to start with anyway, but I see the case way. As long as it's not Sark or Dan Lanning, I'm good.
All right. So based off of that, everybody, we got our championship matchup, and we got Kirby Smart, Lane Kiffin against Marcus Freeman, Curt Signetti. 1 versus 3 in the championship.
Yeah, I guess we're doing it now. You want to start that one?
I'm just Kirby Lane. I don't even like.
Yeah.
I said it the first time that we did this, the first matchup, like poor Matt Patricia, like that sucked for him. And I even said then when we put him in there that like this is gonna be easy for me. Like I'm just gonna say the names and I don't need to say the stats. Kirby Lane.
Dad?
Yeah, I'm going Kirby Lane. I'm taking because I'm cross-referencing Lane versus Freeman. I think Lane can light him up.
That would be a good matchup.
Yeah,
that would
be good.
Now, Signetti will give Kirby problems.
That would be really good too.
He would definitely give him problems.
That would be real interesting.
But I think the Lane would take Freeman.
I think the Signetti stare across the sideline would be really cool.
Almost definitely.
Just lock in on Kirby.
While Kirby's halfway out on the damn field. I'd hate to be his get back guy.
The Midwestern dad versus the Southern visor. Like,
yep.
And that fight, now, okay, physical fight, Signetti all day over Kirby.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got that old man strength. He does.
Like that pissed off face that he gets.
Yeah.
Just that stare. Like, I know Kirby's loud. Right?
Yeah.
He's going to bark.
Yep.
Like, Signetti, he's beating his ass. Like, it's not even going to, I think, like, it's just a beat down.
I think Freeman takes Lane also.
Oh, yeah. Freeman breaks off a Lane. He would.
Lane is running away, blowing his whistle, calling 911, like, asking his statistician how long, what's my chance of getting out of this alive? Where's it? Yeah, Joey Freshwater, Lane Kiffin, doesn't matter. Both of them dead.
Freeman lifts weights and Lane does yoga.
Yeah, exactly. One was a linebacker and the other was a third string quarterback that quit.
He does hot. It's not just yoga, man. It's hot yoga.
Yeah, I'll make it a clean sweep.
Google me is Joey Freshwater. Like truly.
Yeah.
Joey Freshwater.
Yeah, I'll make it a clean sweep with y'all. I'll take Lane and Kirby and Lane over Freeman and Cincinnati. Honestly, I think I would have had a better discussion for Venables and Riley. I could have against Lane and Kirby than I can Freeman and Cincinnati. Like I said, I mean, because Venables has the championships and his defenses are right there neck and neck. If you look at statistically with Kirby,
Yeah.
Lincoln Riley's got 3 Heisman Trophy winners as a head coach and had averages just about, if not better than what Lane does offensively as well. So
I was going to say, I think Venables could shut Lane down.
Yeah, and I think Riley and Kirby would be really fun to watch. I do.
I think I would still probably give Kirby the edge in that, but I think it'd be a lot tougher of a conversation.
That game would be like a 24-17, I think, or a 24-21.
That's the kicker. That's that last kicker one.
Yep. So there it is, everybody. Our fantasy bracket. Let us know what y'all think. I know I forgot to say it, but like, subscribe, download. If you see it bouncing across the screen, make sure you do it. That way we can keep getting subscriptions and all that from everybody, when we drop something. So our fantasy bracket, it wasn't completely chalk, but it ended up being Kirby and Lane. And I hope everybody enjoyed it and some of our insight and everything like that. I got something right here. So we're going to ACC Media Days, fellas. We leave in about 2 weeks.
Yep.
Somewhere around there. We're going to leave here Tuesday about noon, get there about 8:30 in Charlotte, and we will be there till Friday and then come back Saturday morning. So what is a coach or player that y'all are looking forward to talking to at ACC Media Days?
Taz, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Because mine is probably not a serious one.
Oh, it ain't got to be serious. It's just conversation.
For Steve's purpose.
Yeah.
I got 2 answers here, like a serious one and not a serious one. I'm gonna go talk to Manny Diaz and try and get a picture of with some Duke boys there. I know Steve loves that. So, but that's not a serious one. Honestly, though, like I want to do a wellness check on Bill Belichick.
Yeah,
and I just want to ask him. Like, I think that would just be cool to hang out with. My real answer, though, like genuinely. Like who I actually just like want to talk to the most. It's not going to be like the flashiest pick, I don't think. And I think it's probably the one that people aren't going to fill the room for the most is Bill O'Brien.
Yeah.
Wow. That's a good one. I like that.
I think Bill O'Brien, Boston College, like what he's doing there, like the intent, the people he's starting to put around him. I think he's probably the person I look forward most to asking some questions about, what the trajectory of Boston College is. And I mean, they've not been terrible. They've been right there. And I feel like some of the transfer portal ads that they've made, I feel like they're going to be more competitive this year. They're actually one of the people I think they could fly into a sleeper status like mid-season. So I'm excited. And like his pedigree, he's Bill O'Brien, for Christ's sake. Like I could pick his brain apart for hours.
What about you, Taz?
Player or coach?
Yeah.
I tell you who was cool last year though, to kind of chat with. He's pretty open. Is Pat Narduzzi.
Yeah.
I think Narduzzi. Yeah. Yeah, he's a good dude to chat with. As far as player, maybe. Probably Matt's boy.
Oh yeah, he's gonna be at Media Days.
Prabula. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him real quick. I do not believe.
But our funny one that we really, I think all of us would love to have a conversation with him would be Mike Norvell. I really would.
I'm getting a question in for Norvell.
Yeah.
I'm gonna see if he can let me hold $5 if he's still got any money left and I have to give all his salary back to the school.
I really do. I want to do a wellness check on Norvell.
For everybody who knows, I am going to be working on a question for my Piedmont Park follow-up. I am. So I'm going to keep it professional, but I might have a follow-up for that.
Yeah.
I am.
The player, I want to talk to Jabril Rawls, man. He's from Pensacola.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Panhandle, Florida State boy, didn't go too far away from home. Covered him when he was over here in this area. Was a big fan of him. So I kind of want to check in with him and spend some time with him after I asked Mike Norvell for $5.
Oh, yeah.
I do want to get a question with Norvell. I think I can get one in with him. It might be hard because he ain't talked to nobody this offseason.
Okay.
He ain't.
Let me ask you this question. Who you think a question would be hard to get with? Norvell or Dabo?
Dabo.
Oh, they had that.
Dabo, and I don't think that you can get close enough to him.
That's not the reason you can't get a question with Dabo.
Yeah, no, you'll see, man.
You'll see why you can't get a question with Dabo. You can get to Dabo.
Yeah, you can get to him.
Fire on the hot seat. Like, I think that there's going to be so many questions.
No.
We were when Dabo was there.
Don't ruin it for me. Don't ruin it for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna ruin it.
Yeah. Even once I had my hand up and the guy looked at me, I said, hell yeah, I get to ask Dabo a question, but time ran out. So I had to get to. But yeah, I think the coach, I'll tell you who I wish was back and I wish they wouldn't got rid of was our boy Wilcox at Cal.
Yeah.
That was a cool dude right there.
Yeah.
And I want to see, like, it's crazy because like me and Ted was talking about last year, was you see these coaches on TV and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, and you watch them, and then whenever you actually get to ask them a question or, you know what I'm saying, like, we don't get to sit down for 30 minutes with them and talk, but we actually get a chance to ask a question, and you get to see, like, how genuine these guys are and how real of a person they are. Like, I want to see, is Franklin like that too? Like, he comes off like he could be a pretty cool, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Nice guy or whatever. Now, the Georgia Tech head coach, he's an ass. I'll say that right now and to him. I will. But outside of him, everybody else that we either interacted with, we talked to, Taz was in the breakout room with different players, the different coaches and all that. They were awesome, except for him. You know what I'm saying? So him going to have to answer another hard question again this year coming up. So... But yeah,
pin to wear on our shirts while we're there.
Yes, we got to get something with it. I'll get it on a hat or something just to wear around there. And probably player would be our boy Kevin Jennings. They say he put on about another 15, 20 pounds, quarterback from SMU. He was really cool, really nice. Taz, we got a picture with him. We stopped him in the hallway, and he's a really cool guy. And I hope he do that. He was my player of the year I picked last year in the ACC. I did. But
it'll be interesting if Steve wears a Piedmont Park hat. No, I'm just saying in the media because the media normally point you out or whatever. And he's up there and says, "Hey, him with the Piedmont Park hat on."
I'm back.
I know the lights are bright. Can you read my hat?
Yeah.
And we did apply for the Big Ten, everybody. So they said they'll let us know. That's a shot in the dark to see what they say. They will. And like I was saying with the downloads, we are now officially, before the show, we was only 12 downloads away from 6,500 career downloads. We was. Now that's over a span from when we started in 2020, but we're steadily building back up our case and everything. So we have it has a little hot map that shows where most of our movement is over the last 30 days. I just want to give a shout out to Jacksonville, Tallahassee, Tampa, Brooklyn, New York, Lafayette, Milwaukee, Detroit, San Francisco. And the one place I didn't see on that map that lit up is my own hometown and all my family in Houston, Texas. So we got to step our game up, y'all. I know way too many people there to not be downloading my show. I could go platinum in my neighborhood. I just need y'all to jump on board with me. So I got one more thing I want to touch on. We're about an hour and 20 minutes in, so that's not too bad. So the what are they called? They have a vote, or no, I'm sorry, the committee, the rules committee. They voted today for 5 years, 5 years eligibility, starting from when you enroll or until your 19th birthday. Whenever that is, that's it. How do y'all feel about that? You get 5 years to play 5 years in ball, and that's it. It doesn't matter if you get hurt. The only they said that what might grant you an extra year would be religious tours, war, pregnancy, and I think that was it. Outside of that, you got 5 years. You break your leg, you tear your ACL, it don't matter. That counts. You got 5 years to do 5 years. That's it. How do y'all feel about that?
I'm a fan. I think it's time. Get it in check. Yep. Simple, easy enough to follow. Can't really muddy it up. I'm good with it.
Yeah, you gotta have some guidelines.
It's simple.
And what happens, in case y'all didn't know, there's about 12 basketball players in the state of Ohio that has decided to sue the NCAA for this, saying it is unfair to the kids from 2022. As I said before, like with the NFL, it is a privilege, not a right. When the hell did playing college sports become a right and not a privilege? I don't get it. I don't want to dig that deep into it because it's just going to aggravate the hell out of me. But yeah, once again, another thing comes in, another group, some local circuit judge in Cincinnati now is going to do it, and they're supposed to meet next week about injunction. So we'll see what happens with that. I love it. Yeah, I love it. 5 years, get it done. That's it. Like I said, we don't need 30-year-old players anymore. All the muddiness. Is it a red shirt? Is it a gray shirt? Is it a medical? Is it a COVID year? He went to JUCO for 3 months. He stayed at a Holiday Inn. I mean, come on, y'all. Let's. So I like it. I love it. I do. Here goes another one that's really cool for the Blue Hens, for North Dakota State, Sacramento State, and Missouri State. They also have passed a thing to where FBS teams are eligible automatically from FCS to FBS to become bowl eligible in their first year. So there's not the 2-year grace period. There isn't.
Yep.
Big fan.
Yep. Yeah, good with it?
Yeah, I'm good with it. Let them make that money, man.
Yeah.
With the spinning playoffs, a lot of the good teams aren't going to be in those bowl games anyway.
Exactly.
And if they can't, they're not playing the SEC anymore, so they need to get money somehow. Let them play it.
Yep.
That's it.
So I heard that. I did. So I was like, that's pretty cool. I like that, Huh?
That was my dig at you. I said Notre Dame will still play them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Well, the crazy part was, my whole thing was, the reason they did it, which I understand, was they used to do it as a transition stage where the first year and then the first year you would play 75% of FCS schools in a couple, and then the second year would be like a 50-50 change, and then they would fully move you into a full schedule at FBS schools with maybe one FCS like everybody else does. Well, these schools come in right now, they jump straight in. It's FBS schedule. They're playing the same schedule that everybody else in their conference is playing. So I'm really happy for it. I'm glad they decided to do it. I think it's a great move. It is. And like you said, let them make that money. Let these kids that have built this program on this team, because they've all been there for 30 years now. You know what I'm saying? And they're on the team. You get to move up to FBS. You're like, man, we get to go to a bowl game this year. And they're like, oh, yeah, no, you're juniors and seniors, y'all won't get to because we're in a transition stage to changing conference or whatever divisions. So I like it. I'm glad they're doing it. They also have an August vote coming up that I wanted to get y'all's opinion on. They're voting on some other stuff, practices and stuff like that. I didn't want to dig into the weeds into that. These are just 2 quick, simple things. In the August vote, they're talking about moving the season up to week 0. Not week 1 over Labor Day, moving it up a week. So what do y'all think about that one? Good.
I hate it because it's going to make it end a week early, but I like it earlier anyway for me. So
yeah. But then they're trying to get that the bowl season closer back to January 1st.
Yeah.
I do too. I also think like week 1 competes too heavy with the NFL. So I think they're trying to, reestablish going back to week 0, trying to get it out of competitive area.
I'll tell you what, a benefit though to having that week 0 game is you get 2 open weeks, you get 2 buys.
Sure.
Yeah, you used to. Yeah.
Yeah, from an injury standpoint.
Right.
That way.
And then the last thing I got, they're talking about shortening the portal from 10 days or from 15 days to 10 days.
Yeah. Not a big
different,
deal.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not a big deal with it.
I mean, when they jump in the portal, they already know where the hell they're going.
Exactly.
anyways.
They have a no contact list.
They've already been paid. They've already negotiated.
It don't matter. Don't contact me.
It's just like you said earlier, Steve, like, don't get me started on what pissed me off. Like, they're already paid. They already know where they're going. They already have the NIL deal linked and everything else. Like, so now they just get to do it 5 days less than that. What they do.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, well, fellas, that's all I had on the agenda. It was. I didn't know if y'all had anything else y'all wanted to hit on or touch on, or
We're good.
Court is over.
yes, sir. Like I said, I'll have the slide ready for the next episode. I will, and then I'll start working on the preview shows and all those. We will. Like you said, we got a lot coming up. We're in the almost end of June right now. July is going to be crazy, going to be hectic. We got media days all month long.
Yep.
All the different conferences. We'll be at media days. We'll do a show from Charlotte, probably from the hotel room, but I'll be sure to pack up all the equipment so we can do a little pop-up while we're there too and talk on it. Yeah, we're right around the corner. We're less than 9 weeks away now. We are, or we're right at 9 weeks. We are from having college football, week 0. Yeah, so I'm excited. I'm ready for it. I am. I think it's been a good show. I really liked it. I did. So, y'all got anything left for the people before we wrap this thing up?
We're good, brother.
Step your game up, Houston.
Let's get it.
For real, please. Come on, anybody.
Shout out to Brooklyn, though. Let's go. That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Fran. We're starting to move around the markets right now.
Yep, that's what I said. We're trying to get there. Everybody just keep hanging in there with us, downloading and following and everything else. So, all right, everybody. Well, that's going to pretty much wrap up this show, and we will see you on the next one.
Sounds good.
Peace.